Hello artists, I'm Dalene FM and you are watching The Epic Journey. There are two things that every artist should do, regardless of the type of art that you're involved in or regardless of the type of medium that you use. You need to watch what other artists are doing. And the second one is that you need to get personal instruction. First of all, watching what other artists do is incredibly important to being able to place yourself in the greater scheme of things. The work that we do is going to be presented to many, and it's going to be presented within the context of an enormous amount of artwork that is out there. And there's a lot of things that influence art of the day, so we need to be able to keep up with techniques and with fashions. You know, everything has fashions, including art, but it goes much, much deeper than that. Putting yourself into a position, watching what other artists do and being a part of an artistic community helps you to glean from other artists. So you would very easily come across techniques and ways of doing things that you would not have come across if you weren't watching what other artists are doing. And I'm talking specifically also, you know, in the greater artistic community, there's an enormous amount of art on the internet that you can look up at any stage. It just takes a simple Google search to see what other artists are doing, as well as in your own personal community. So if you go to art classes and you're in a group of, say, 10 or 20 artists, watch what they're doing, watch how they problem solve. You know, watch demos on YouTube and see what artists are doing, because it's not about copying other artists. It's about seeing what other artists are doing to solve certain problems and then being able to take those things that they're doing and translate them into your own style and into your own working. I'm not suggesting that you copy other artists. I'm suggesting that you use the work that other artists are doing to inspire you, to push you to new levels, to be able to constantly be reaching for a new goal, because it's all about self-improvement. It's all about improving our art every day. Don't ever put yourself in a position where you are satisfied with your art and you know it all and you have no real inspiration to move forward and to grow and to get stronger in your art, because sooner or later you will get left behind. The other thing that you need to do is to get personal instruction. Now, yes, it is great to be able to sit on the internet and go through hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos, but none of those YouTube videos are going to actually address your specific needs as an artist, and needs that you may or may not even realize that you have. You know, every artist sees things differently, and every teacher teaches differently. That is true. But if you are not subject to a second pair of eyes that is looking at your artwork, you may not necessarily see something that you could improve on. So getting personal instruction is, number one, going to point out to you the areas of your art that can be improved, and then of course it's going to address how you can improve those things. Now, I do think that these two things go hand in hand, because you can hardly be part of a community without getting some sort of instruction from somebody. And you know, that's another thing. You don't necessarily have to go to a specific artist for instruction. You could do what I did and go to various different artists at various different times, depending on what your needs are. But either way, it is really, really important to find really good quality art instruction and to submit yourself to being instructed by a more experienced artist, somebody whom you think that you can glean a lot of information from. Another thing about getting personal art instruction to note is that just about anybody can be an art instructor. All you really need to do is open a studio and start teaching, and 9 times out of 10 the students can't really judge the quality of the art instruction that they're getting. It's important to know that the art instructor that you're submitting yourself to is teaching from a place of good foundations, good artistic foundations. Just because an artist can create something doesn't necessarily mean that they can teach it. And seeing somebody produce wonderful art does not necessarily, it could, but it does not necessarily mean that that is the right art teacher for you. You need to be able to know with confidence that the teacher you're submitting yourself to can give you an all-round experience and an all-round instruction, instead of just being able to teach you what that particular artist does, or instead of being able to teach you what they do. The hallmark of a good instructor is to be able to give you a good wide variety of instruction. And yes, that may come in the form of various different mediums, but I think more importantly, it comes in the form of various different ways of solving problems, various different techniques, not just one specific way of doing something. Another thing to look out for is whether or not your art instructor is allowing you a certain amount of personal freedom. Now, I do understand that there are certain things that an art instructor might have to say no to with their student. They might have to say, no, what you're doing is wrong because of technical repercussions, etc. But generally speaking, your art instructor should not ever be telling you, other than technical stuff, should not ever be telling you, no, you cannot do that. What they should be telling you is, if you do that, that's going to happen. But no, you cannot do that is a little bit restrictive, because as an art instructor, I don't want to churn out duplications of myself. And if I teach from a rigid point of view, that's what I'm going to be doing. So what I want to do is to be able to see where you are coming from as an artist, and then help you to find your own way of doing things. And that's going to take a lot of experience on my part, because I need to be able to teach from a lot of different angles, and it's also going to take a lot of knowledge, of course. So as an artist, make sure that you're part of an art community, that you're watching what other artists are doing, and make sure that the art instructor that you are submitting yourself to has got a way of teaching you that is conducive to you developing your own personal style. Thanks for watching. Your likes and your shares and your comments make more videos possible, so please go ahead and do that. And if you want to know more about the Epic Art Academy, please head on over to epicartacademy.com, and I will see you there. Bye!